Hey guys. And he was kind of beating all around the bush, and he said the reason was because really the person he has back home is his findom, and that she finally, and I was like, what? That's a thing?
But there's applying it, and then there's the actual action of communication.
Right.
Like when you discipline a child, you tell
Keep going. And then when we do it, you gotta say, "Scissor me, daddy." Like that. All right.
No, you know.
This is not the fucking thing to do. Like,
I think that's normal.
I got you, like, buddy.
I can't.
Help her.
Minutes later, I see a pizza slide under my door. No contact. Like, I'm good.
You see the pizza slide under the door with their hands, and your fucking hands slam down on top of it and grab his.
We have an initial physical type of what we like to see initially, because our eye is always drawn to something. I can see a tall guy, big and broad shoulders, and I'm like, ooh, nice. But if he talks to me, and I'm be like, maybe not. Okay, so Mike, until we get the rest of the guys in, do you want to start with your first question for us ladies? First of all, are you drinking a Capri Sun?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. First things first, what is happening?
I got to turn. Sorry, I had my stuff off. So, all right, we here. What's up, y'all?
What's happening?
Everybody who was here, there's a couple people in the comments already. Miss CRV is here.
Hello.
The fellas that's coming through. Welcome to the podcast. We got questions podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Mr. NSC, joined here with the basic.
Hi guys. Hi everybody.
It's crazy because she's not gonna be here long.
I'm not.
Like we kind of kicking her out. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. We're not kicking you out at all. We just
hello. Welcome everybody. Hey Caprina.
Oh shit, Caprina done made it. Don't you start with this howdy shit. Ladies, everybody that's ladies or anybody that want to listen to this conversation, we are talking. What's up, Rachel? Mother, you finally made it, mother. Ladies, good shit. Thank you for
ladies. You want to stick around tonight? It's an all men's panel. Just saying.
It ain't as much as you think it is. We okay.
Mike, don't downplay the guys like this. They might.
Some of them niggas is ugly. No, I'm playing, y'all. I'm playing.
That's
y'all.
wild. Tonight is an all men's panel, guys. Last week we had a great conversation about creating safe spaces for men to be vulnerable and communicate, and we kind of played around with the idea of having a men's panel to discuss those things. Because I mean, you can have me up here talking about it, but I can't come to it from a male point of view, and so we thought it'd be great to have.
But so far.
Wait, what was that?
Only can take it but so far.
Right. But we thought it'd be great to have some guys come in and talk about their different points of view and experiences, and I think that's just a way better perspective. At least I can't bring real value to the conversation like men can bring to this particular conversation, and so this is going to be really exciting. I will not be here for the whole night. I'm actually about to dip out in a minute when we bring the rest of the panelists up.
You about to dip, y'all.
It's exciting. So everybody stick around, share out to your friends. If you have any guys that you think would have some great input, please share this out to them, invite them over. Everybody stick around and listen in. It's going to be a great conversation. I think it'll be great for men and women, because I think as women, sometimes these are things that we need to hear. We need to hear how men feel about these things so that maybe we can be able to take a look at our perspective. And if we need to make some changes, we can make those changes. You know?
I got my dollar bill.
Gives us better understanding.
That's very true. Basic, of course. They see, this is why I don't have to do all the speaking. I just send it over to Basic, and she does it for me because I am lazy with certain things, and it's okay. That's why I got the best co-host on the face of this planet. But all right, let's bring up these guys, these wonderful gentlemen that I asked to come on here. First, we're gonna bring up my guy, Just Comply. You know, go ahead and tell everybody who you are, good brother, and you know.
Hey, what's going on? Just Comply from VA.
Hey,
yeah, 2 up, 2 down. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Oh, where's Giggles?
2 up, 2
Nikita?
down. What's
What's up,
going on?
Tawana? Miss Tawana right there.
Oh Lord. Here we
Uh-huh.
go.
She here.
Here we go.
She here. You know, they here. Listen, if y'all, while y'all here, please, all 10 of y'all, can y'all please just press the like button, share it out to somebody. This is a good conversation. You know, I think this is going to be pretty dope. Basic is just here for a little while. So if y'all want to see Basic tonight, y'all got to put y'all ones up like this. If y'all want Basic to stick around, it ain't up to me. I mean, I'm playing Basic.
Oh my God.
All right. Wilkerson, I'm bringing you. If you ready, bro, take yourself off of mute so I can introduce you. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. I got Wilkerson right here.
What's going on, everybody?
Hi.
I am Wilkerson. And looking forward to the conversation actually. That we got going on tonight. Finally heard about y'all a little while ago, less than a month, actually. So far so good. I mean,
you're gonna have fun, I promise you. You're gonna like
I'm
it.
looking forward to it.
It'll be a good
I'm
time.
looking forward to it.
You're gonna come back like, hey yo, so let me slip back on this podcast real quick. Let me slip back up in this podcast real quick. But yeah, Wilkerson's a good guy. We are fellow Eagles fans. I'm sorry, Comply. It is what it is. You want a room full of birds.
Hey, you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm a Bird fan too. I'm a Ravens fan, so we good.
I know. Listen, I was rooting for him.
I can respect that. I was rooting because I'm from Baltimore.
That's the brother.
So.
Yeah, look, that's the brother city right there. So,
yes, sir.
And last but not least, my co-host for the up and coming soon. Well, I'll announce it a little bit, but the TBC podcast. We have a lot of fun back in the day, but you know, I'm bringing in my uncle. Basically, okay. My uncle is usually old here, but Uncle Mike on here today. So. Why, yo?
No, let me stop. Hey, yeah, by way of Philadelphia, but I'm in Illinois right now due to the military and my wife working for the military. So, you know, it is what it is. But I'll be back in Philly come June.
Man, June, you back in? I can't wait for that part.
You ain't know that.
See, y'all ain't say nothing. That's the part. Y'all was
No,
gonna hit it with
but we're gonna try to get back there. No, it might not be June. It might be August because we're trying to go to Italy.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. All right, cool. All right. So, just sit around real quick. We do have a quick question I want to ask the guys.
Wait, do you want me to leave for this question? Because
no, you can stay right here. No, you can stay right here. But you can stay on.
Why
mute.
you gotta run?
Answer.
Because I'm giving you guys the spotlight tonight.
You can still hear it.
Okay.
Do you think they really want to see that? This is look in the middle. There's Beauty and Beast all around it. Like, nah, I'm playing. So, fellas, who is the closest to the GOAT in their respective? I know. I'm sorry. It's going to be quick. Who's the closest to their GOATs in their respective? I guess sports. Is Tom Brady? I mean, is Patrick Mahomes closer to Tom Brady, or is LeBron James closer to Michael Jordan? This is a topic from First Take earlier today. I'm sorry, First Take. We're borrowing this for a quick second. Y'all got enough money.
I didn't see it. I see it's Patrick Mahomes right now. Even though LeBron has a lot of attributes and stuff like that, it's you look at the time frame. Time frame that they're getting up there is just, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not putting LeBron down or whatever, but LeBron ain't that monster Jordan used to be. So it kind of cuts things off right there. But Patrick Mahomes he's just doing his thing. Ain't no denying that. Till the Eagles come in and knock him off the next time.
That's right. That's right.
I love that. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I agree. I have to agree with that one. To me, two different eras for LeBron, but LeBron does it he's good at what he does, how he does what he does. But trying to compare it to Jordan, I don't see it.
Yeah, see, I'm of the same mindset. I say that Pat, given the amount of accomplishments he already has at such a young age, he's only going to add to his portfolio. Whereas LeBron, like the lofty expectation that Jordan set with the defensive player, the all defense, scoring titles, things of that nature. Like as much as LeBron has accomplished it, he has accomplished a lot. He still hasn't gotten where Jordan has as far as to where his resume took him. And I don't think anybody is going to be able to supplant him. So I would say that Patty is closer to Tom than LeBron is to Jordan, in my view.
Call that man Patty. I was thinking about pies.
Patty.
Hey,
Patty with the patty pie.
now you gotta call him Cakes. Cakes is out there putting it up.
You want some of that patty pie? Nah, look, at this point, he's serving all types of patty pie. This boy is balling.
Dude,
three-time champion, 3-time MVP, 2-time season MVP. He broke the record for most passing yards in the season, broke the record for more touchdowns in the season. Yeah.
He paid for it.
It's just at this point, Tom Brady looked like somebody got a string up his ass and they pulling him. Like that's what's happening right now. So Minta. Hello, how are you? Please let us know who you are because I don't recognize the name for 100%. Why does it remind me of what is that? I think is that car? Ms. Mint? I'm just putting two and two together. We'll find out in a little bit. But thank y'all for that conversation. It was nice and brief. You see, basic over and done with.
Wonderful. I loved it.
You don't know a single player who we talking about, do you?
Yes. I'm not that clueless. I know who y'all are talking about.
What Patrick Mahomes look like? All right, I'm playing. Okay, gotcha.
The light can be the talk like Kermit the Frog.
Not Kermit the Frog. That's crazy.
All right, so look, we heading to our topic. Basically, if you want to come down, you can. If you want to stay for it, you can. But
no, I'm letting you guys. She said he light skinned. The confetti. Did you see it?
Yeah,
yes,
she has an iPhone.
Yes.
I'm sorry, the iPhone stuff. So
that was a great way for me.
That was a good way for you to exit. Yeah,
yes,
for real.
You guys have an amazing conversation. I'll be here. You can might as well go ahead and put your hand down if I have. Y'all have a wonderful night.
We appreciate it.
Bye.
Much appreciated.
They're gonna say he likes skin. See, here we go, Bex. Here we go again with the shits. We back to it. It's always light skin stuff. All right. Anyway, so the topic today is as men, we want to talk about safe spaces to speak as men. Like, what does safe spaces look like for us? So I'm gonna start it off with you, Wilkerson, because you're one of the first people I talked about it with.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So how do you feel as though for you, how do you create the safe space for yourself? Who do you reach out to? Do you look into yourself? Like, what is your process as far as creating a safe space for yourself? I'll mute for you.
Well, for me, if you're talking in reference to another person, that person, outside of myself, that's where I would like to start always. But just to bounce ideas or to share something that I'm going through with someone, that person is really truly going to be a friend above everything else. And understanding, the conversation is where it is. And not just that, but I'm looking for whatever constructive criticism, blunt, straight, even if it's not straight to the point, but straight to the point and let me know where I am for real. If I'm not right, I'm not right. A lot of times for me, that's easier to find than someone that I'm looking to pursue a relationship with. Why is that? I don't really know, female wise, but um, just I mean, it's kind of one of those things that I mean, with time, I have one person that I could think of in particular. I've known that woman since high school, and reaching out to her, and being able to talk to her about things and let me know some things. If I hear an opinion about me from somebody else that I feel as though they don't, they might not quite be right, I'll call her. She's gonna. I'm good with her that she would give me the real answer. And then if it's something that I don't like, um, she'll point that out too. Even like the changes, where you probably need to improve on that. So that's important. That's a real friend. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I got my brothers, I got other people like that, but that's important for me, female wise though, because you always need their perspective as well. But it has to be safe. It's not from somebody that's not going to weaponize it later on.
Sorry, I had to come off and mute. Okay. So you feel as though reaching out to a lady friend of yours is one of the best ways you can create that space for yourself by getting advice from her and what to possibly look into and what to possibly feel with that. Like,
It depends. Like I said, I spend a lot of time by myself anyway. So myself thinking, reflecting, a lot of times I'm going to listen to the other person's perspective and or opinion, right? But if I'm conflicted, um, there's people that I reach out to. But only because that safe space that I need and that I'm already, you know, pondering on with whatever information that I need to ponder on, then there's a person, a couple of people that I'll be able to do that. That's already proven that is a safe thing to do.
okay, so I mean, listen, I appreciate that answer. I mean, I think that you got to find it how the best way you can get it. If it comes from a friend that's close to you, go to that and find that person that's close to you and be able to have that conversation around, what that looked like for you.
Right.
All right, so comply. What do you have, brother? How does it look for you?
So for me, my safe space starts with me. I learned that a long time ago when I didn't have a safe space anywhere else. Um, I was, going through my own turmoil and things of that nature. And so I had to create my own safe haven because um, at that particular point in time, it was a very vulnerable part of my time in my life, and I didn't feel safe with anyone else. So I created my own safe space. Now, what I would look for in the next person would be at least patience, um, and at least respect. And the very foundation of it all would be respect, because I lead with respect. I'm a person that I'm gonna respectfully give you certain things about me, certain aspects of me, or whatever else like that, and I expect that in return you respectfully hear and acknowledge, or having, if you have any questions or whatever the case may be, we can communicate in regards to it. But I think that more times than not, in my experience, the way you put forth is what you get back. And so for me, I have learned over the years of having things thrown in my face. One is to vet better, so that I don't give just anybody everything, because not everybody is meant to handle some of the most inner vulnerabilities that you may have. There's only a select few that is meant to carry certain types of weight. So when you put people in their proper place, you don't expect too much of them, or you don't give them more than they're willing or they're capable of handling. One of the conversations that I had recently is in regards to if I see someone that cannot hold their own water, then I can't expect for them to hold mine. Meaning that if your business isn't sacred to you, then how is my business going to be sacred to you? So I have to recognize that this ain't a safe space, and I can't make you be something you're not.
That's dope, bro. That's around on the same lines where I'm at. I'm gonna get to mine because I want to. Me and yours is very, very similar to each other. I saved Becky's up there because I wanted to show Beck's her response, or just her responding to what we're talking about and stuff like that. I want to post that up before we get to Uncle Mike over here. What Beck says is a place where people can be their authentic selves, share their experiences, and engage in open dialogue without facing hostility or intolerance or judgment. So that is definitely, what a safe space in hindsight is. And what's the fun part about this conversation is the safe spaces experiences that we're speaking of. Because my next question is going to be nice and fun. Y'all gonna be thinking hard about that, but let's get to Old Head first. So Old Head, aka Uncle Mike. What does the safe space look like for you? What do you do as far as it? Like, do you create it for yourself? I.e. what I said to these guys. Like, what is it? What is it for you?
In the past, when I was younger, I had to create it for myself because I couldn't talk to my sister. She had her own things going on with her relationships and stuff. Couldn't talk to my mom. Couldn't, you know how it is. But I had people. I've learned over the years of being in the military, whether it be in the military or whether I was at school or whatnot. I've always made a lot of friends. So, males and females, didn't matter what color they were, race, whatever. You learn how to take stuff from them. You can tell most of the time when you can't talk to somebody. If they're the type of person that is always judgmental about everything that's being said, and they can't even come on agreement with anything, then that's the person you don't need to talk to. Because those are the ones that just swallow you up whole and have you confused and looking around like,
those the ones, Mike. Those the ones that swallow you up. They just swallow you up. And have you ever been swallowed like
no
that
bullshit.
before?
You know how they say, look, you know how they say misery loves company, right? So if you talk to somebody that's miserable all the time, what they gonna do? They gonna make your ass feel miserable. They ain't worried about your problem. They worried about theirs, and as long as they can get you to be fucked up like they are, swallow you up.
They're just gonna swallow you up.
Yo,
swallow you.
But anyway, man. Just like a couple of y'all, I had to do my own thing, man. I had to create that space for myself. I had to, sometimes leave the area, go for a walk or something so I could clear my head and kind of think on what's my next move, what's my next step. And if I couldn't get it, then I would go to certain people that I could trust and hear their perspectives, but I wouldn't just hear one person. I would hear multiple people, and then you get to make a choice of how you want to do what you figure you need to do. Because if you got multiple people telling you things, you be like, all right, I see what that person's perspective is. I see what this person's perspective is, but you can always go back and look at the situation and find out which one would be a perfect match with that situation, and then rectify whatever you have to rectify it. So that's
I
just
don't mean to
me.
laugh. I'm just looking at the comments, but yo, this is why I say like this is the dopest reason why I brought people on, because everybody's perspective is different, but it all is the same thing. You know, it's all about just how we create the spaces for ourselves to be able to be understood, heard, and then look into ourselves and also basing into our experiences. So I did a lot of talking with this last week. Last week, this was the same exact topic, and I'll bring some of that into what we're talking about now. So safe spaces for me to create for myself is basically setting my own boundaries. If I set boundaries, I'll be able to create a better space for myself. Because now I know I'm talking about, I set boundaries to myself. It ain't like somebody else got to meet these boundaries. It's something that I do to myself. It's like, okay, Mike, do not do these things. Watch how you talk. Watch your tone. Watch this. Like be soft and gentle in your approach to your safe space, because I want to be able to bring you in, hone you in, and be able to just speak my mind, like, and be able to, I want the air to be calm and run that whole entire thing. You know what I mean? And I learned that in my experience of dealing with a person before, because that person to me was very narcissistic when it came to, hey, give me your safe space. Like, hey, I'm giving you this, I'm giving you that. I'm allowing you to have this time to be you and do that. And then when you create the safe space, i.e. what I said last time on the show, you create the safe space and you're like, all right, this bothered me, blah, 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 blah. And then that person turns it around and say, okay, I hear your safe space and I acknowledge your safe space. But now let me tell you how your safe space bothered me. Nigga, what? Like that's what I was thinking in my head. Like, wait, what? How the fuck we get here now? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to. That's what I don't want to do, and that's why I said, hey, I'll learn how to do things differently, and also watch who you talking to too. That's the biggest thing about my safe spaces. Is like it's a boundary I create for myself. If you know this person is an idiot or don't care or don't whatever, I'm not talking to you. Like, because then that ain't no safe space. That is not no safe space. It is not a safe space, and that's that's one of the biggest things. Also, I confide in my friends and my family and stuff. My uncle will tell you, I'll call him if I have a real issue about some stuff. Like, I even have to call him when I was having issues with my daughter's mom. How do I do these things? Like, how can I talk to her? Because at the end of the day, yeah, we all beef with, when, especially if your situation was bad, you beefing with your child's mother and stuff. But what does that mean? Only thing I'm thinking about is, okay, the kid, like, where does the benefit come in with her? I have to have a healthy dialogue with her mom, because I don't know if that's going to work well in my daughter's upbringing. I've seen it too many times where the kid becomes a certain way because the parents didn't get along with each other. And I don't want her finding love in all the wrong places because she sees dysfunction, or she sees, that a man doesn't care about a woman, and then opposite of that, a woman doesn't care about a man. Because if that's all she know, I'm not saying I love my daughter, loving on my daughter's mom, nothing. No, I ain't speaking that into existence. What I'm saying is that if I show the respect that's there and show the friendship that can potentially be there, all that stuff, like, I should be able to, that'll help me out better in my life. That'll help me be able to. And just like when I would have talks with her, Putty, what's up? When I would have talks with her, I would tell her, before we get into this conversation, I need you to relax and chill, because you tend to go off the rails. And then she'll start talking, and I have to literally stop her, like, hey, it is okay. We're just conversating. And it's like, I do that because I'm actually giving her a safe space to be able to have this talk with me too. You know what I mean? Because if you see that I'm creating this, okay, this is how we get to a better space with each other. So safe spaces for me is creating a softness around it, so I can be able to talk to you the right way. So I can be able to feel like I'm comfortable to share these vulnerable ass things that you could probably stab me in my ass with later on. That's the safe spaces. So, all right.
But you know what my secondary safe space is?
Oh shit! Go ahead. What's yours?
Call of Duty.
Yeah, man. I got the controller sitting in my bag.
When I get to bust a cap in somebody's ass after I had a bad day.
Nah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to go to the range for real. I ain't got time for the video game.
Hey, look, that video game life was
I'm doing outside.
I'm with you, Will. Hey, you know what? I need to get some stress off. Let me go ahead and.
I have never shot a gun before.
Really?
No,
Oh,
no, I had too many times. I had too many times of that in the military, so I don't want to
listen.
Hey man, it's a thorough stress release for me. When I can't hit the bag, go to the range.
Listen, I'm glad I moved out of Baltimore because then I got a lot of cousins in the country with a lot of acreage. If I can't listen,
I love it.
Man,
hey, look, while we can, y'all, can we get y'all just to throw those likes on there, share it out to somebody. I want to try to get at least 20 plus people to watch today. I really think this would be a dope conversation because it's coming from a bunch of different men. So, Marcus Drink the Fray. What's up, Mark? Is there a functional difference between a safe space for yourself versus others? I think anytime you're alone is safe by technically because the harm can come from outside. Of course, 100%. 100%. Like, y'all want to answer that? Go ahead, Comply. I think you.
Yeah, let me go ahead and answer that.
But that depends on what your mental. That would depend on your mental capacity too.
Yeah,
that part right there. That there is where I was about to go, because you can be harmful to yourself, because you do need somebody that is able to tell you what you can't see or what you can't fathom or what you can't envision. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you being in your own mind sometimes is the worst place to be, because you'll see the worst. Your mind will take you down the worst possible avenues that is available to you, and someone else can, someone else being that voice of reason, or at least to give you just a slight twist, not saying that they're changing your mind, but if they give you a different perspective on the same thing, okay, now instead of me going here, instead of me going to the left, I can go right. I think that is necessary and that's healthy. I don't think it is healthy for a person to be their own safe space. Yeah. Because how safe are you really?
Yeah. Because
like you said, that depends on that person's mental situation, what's going on in that situation. Yeah, that's why kind of like what Unc said actually. It's multiple people that I can go and talk to depending upon the situation, but all of us kind of said the same thing. You're going to sit with yourself first, depending on what's going on. And then again, like I said, if it's conflicting, then there's people that you can reach out to per their mental capacity for what because you know which ones, like Mike said, if I know this guy's a hothead or idiot, I'm not talking to you about this. You'll never know. Never know.
No, Joe silly ass all the way over there.
Right. Exactly, because I know what you gonna tell me to do. I already know.
You just came to talk to me about the same situation last week. I just gave you advice. What are you talking about?
First of all, I can imagine that all the fellas in here don't. And of course, like situations in our lives are different, but I don't think anybody want. Some people I've heard want women like this, but it's like I don't know if anybody want a woman that is going to literally sit there and call you a bitch ass nigga. That's why you had ED, erectile dysfunction. That is a situation of like you having a safe space and saying, "Hey, this is what I'm going through," blah blah blah, and then revealing it because she's mad.
You just gave her weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah,
you just gave her a whole lot of religion.
Because nobody wants to deal with that shit.
Look, he's looking at it.
You can't even talk about
he
it.
had to breathe after that one.
It's not like you experiencing it. He's looking at that side of the head like,
man.
Listen,
it's like
I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen that scenario play out in my family and outside of my family. And those type. Matter of fact, growing up in school, like, listen, chicks from Baltimore, man.
That's anywhere though. That's
Philly
anywhere. Because you got them. It just
Baltimore
depends on.
You are calling you Mo all day.
Hey,
You got them ones that just gonna do this to that
Hey,
button
bro, what's up, y'all?
every time. Like, and you
Like
have
pointing
certain
in your
men.
face?
No. Just pushing buttons.
Oh,
Just pushing buttons.
oh, pushing
Or
buttons.
that too. Because
yeah, just saying.
hardcore,
He's
they'll
saying
call you a
it.
little dummy in a minute. They'll call you a little dummy in a minute, yo. And I'm just trying to tell
Uh-huh.
you, like, bro, like there are some people, not just women, but there are some people who are going to push that button regardless. And then you have the people who feel as though
Yeah,
for them that they are the
yeah.
type of people that they want to be with. And expect them not to be who they are at the same time, which is crazy.
That part.
I try to navigate that, but
What's up,
sometimes
people?
I got the ones with the I got one. I don't know how she got past that. I know how she got past that radio. I ain't gonna tell y'all.
Hold
Y'all
on
know.
now. Hold on.
Anyway,
Can I veer off for just a second though and ask a question?
oh Lord.
You can do whatever you want, good brother.
Do you feel as if men that, because I've seen men that's in that type of relationship. As a matter of fact, I was one that not necessarily was verbally mistreated, but was emotionally and physically mistreated. Do you feel as if those type of men, they don't know their value or their worth, or what allows a man to get treated like that? And
Mul-
go ahead.
Multiple things could be true to
Okay.
that, right?
Hmm.
It could be what you just said, and it could also be a temporary headspace that man is in, man or woman, actually,
Okay. Hmm.
where they are just with the amount of stuff that's going on in their life. That man could have been multiple people that passed away in the family, loss of job, loss of another real relationship where he messed up and can't get back, and just in this sinking place, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And any type of attachment will do, type of
Hmm.
deal, and that
Hmm.
could be either or, and just get stuck there, just get comfortable there, and then you have some people that are just going to be there temporarily, but because as long as that depression, for as long as those things are closing in on them
Sorry,
and
guys.
making them feel suppressed, where they have to be there because they've hit rock bottom. You've had, like, again, I would do it again. I have no problem with living out of my vehicle. If I had to do it again, I will. But you have some people, because it's not just men, it's men and women, but you have some men who will, well, she got a place to stay. I got, I can't, I'm on my feet right now, da 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 da. But you get to talking to a couple of brothers that done been there, and he's have a little willingness to listen and to follow. Like Unc might be able to go and tell him, hook him up with somebody that he know and say, hey, brother really needs your help. And then you start seeing him. Build his confidence up, or his morale starts to be built back up again, and then he can segue out of this situation. But I think that's men and women. But sometimes it's just hard because, come on, man, we get tired. Like, we get tired too. This world is a lot, especially if you're
Yeah.
black. Especially if you're black, it's a
Yep.
lot. It's a
That's
lot.
a definite.
It's a
I've
lot.
seen
I mean, go ahead.
I've seen the stuff happen in the military, and it's still going on. Everybody thinks, it's all glamorous and glorious and shit in the military, boy, but that shit is the worst place. It's like you not only have to worry about, other people of ethnic groups, mostly white, but your own people be trying to shut you down. And it's like, hold on, you trying to keep me from getting promoted and all kinds of other stuff for what? Because they don't want you to be where they're at. They feel threatened or whatever. I'm like, you should always want your people to rise up, come up behind you or whatever, if you teaching them and stuff like that. And it's some leaders in there that don't need to be in that position and shit at all.
Do
Not
you
at
think
all.
it's
Because
do you I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but do you
Yeah,
think it's
go
just
ahead.
like hate, like it's just because they jealous, or like so let me break it down a scenario for you, and I work for the government too, right?
Yeah.
There is a white person in charge of the whole area where I work, and then there's uh, a black supervisor.
Yeah.
Do you think it's one of those things where they don't want to see you come up, or they're in too deep on because that person done covered for them, so you got to do? Could it be also that too? So that person is doing whatever that other person is telling them, basically doing their bidding for them in a lot of those cases. And just, if they got a problem with you, but the black person really don't have a problem with you, but because that person, so they're going through that
But
person
they
until
use
it got
that black person just like this.
correct.
It's basically, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. And that right there, case in point, it comes to the way it was during slavery.
Right.
Think about it.
Right.
Think
It
about
hasn't
it.
gone nowhere.
So
That's
you
the point I
got,
wanted to make.
yeah.
That's the point I wanted to make. It hasn't gone nowhere because we say that a lot. Oh, they just hating on me, but it's that back conversation. It's that backroom conversation. You know what I'm saying? That whatever because we can't figure it out. You like, what's going on? Why you being this way? I thought we were cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever. But
And they'll treat the other people, other ethnic groups better than they treat you. And you like looking at them like, God damn, staring at this motherfucker stepping on my toes and shit and giving them motherfuckers brand new shoes to walk on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, I seen so much stuff. And after a while, you start figuring out what's going on. Like everything is not always, your people's fault. They're doing it because they're told to do it, or somebody's masking some shit and telling them, hey, you got to do this way or whatever, or they be like, you got to control your people and shit like that. But like you said, there's so many ways that situation can be looked at. But usually I get to talking with them. That's how I find out what's going on. Because I had people hating on me because I like to have fun. And they're like, and these is brothers. Oh man, why you joke around so much or whatever and this and that and whatever. I'm like, dude, when we go out for training and stuff, don't nobody want to fucking be out here? Don't nobody, your ass want to be out here? They say no. Well, what you fucking with me for? I'm just trying to keep people, happy, and they out here feeling miserable and shit. So that's my thing. That's what I enjoy doing, making other people happy. So, they looked at it and then they were like, you know what? He right. You can rectify a lot of situations, man, but it's just some people that don't know how it's their upbringing or whatever. Because I've run into people, and these are black families that can't stand motherfuckers like us. And I'm like, yo, what is the problem? Like, how the hell do you? And as one woman was always telling her kids, don't you ever talk to a dark-skinned girl, a dark-skinned guy, and I'm like, see, that's the killer, man. You can't do that.
I'll ask you this question: Do you feel as if some people look at it as you getting your shine is taking away, dimming their light or dimming their shine, and that's part of the reason why some of these things happen, and not necessarily just in our community, but just as a general whole? Because I think there's a lot of folks that, they'll look at your prosperity as a threat to their prosperity per se, when in actuality we both can shine at the same time, but for whatever reason you see me
you
as
don't want it that way. You don't want to be equal. You don't want to be, you don't want somebody sharing the spotlight.
Do you
But
really think it's?
but you
Do
see
you really
that
think it's
happen.
that?
You see that
Do you
happen
really
all
think
the
it's that?
time, though. Like, it's like embedded in
But
our everyday lives or whatever. Like it's always some
that's
type
just
of dislike or hatred or something that we can't get past. And it's
that's
like
just
Do you really think it's hatred?
so.
it's like
Hold
a
on, real quick, y'all. Hold on, real quick. So if y'all want to see, I want y'all to do on y'all screens, right? In the corner, y'all can be able to interact with the chat too. If you'll see it in the corner, and you'll see what everybody's been saying. If you haven't clicked it, you can see what everybody's talking about.
What
Just
am
in
I
case,
clicking?
so y'all won't just see the comments here. Y'all can actually see it like live in real time.
What am I clicking on?
It's in a corner that say join the chat or something like that.
I don't see that.
It's in the right corner, like right next to where all the comments and stuff is at. It can say join a conversation or something like that.
Man, you
on the board, John.
Glass is the one that goes.
The chat, John.
What did you talking about? I still don't see it. I don't see
I
it.
still don't see it
Top
either.
right corner. Basic is right there. She's telling me what it is. So
Well, I'm missing it because it's not showing on my end.
okay.
Is this an Android or iPhone
It's
situation?
an iPhone. Yeah,
Damn,
it's
I done made him click off the screen. Now he got to come bring his ass back in here. Oops, whoopsies. But
Okay, I can see the comments now, but I don't see y'all though.
you don't see us.
Nah.
You must have touched the screen to go all the way over. Like tap that same thing again, and it should bring you back. Like it should be a thing that brings you back.
Yeah, I
over
see
to
y'all
it.
now, but I can't see the comments, and I don't know.
Okay, got you.
Maybe I need to do it from my MacBook.
No, you're good. You're good.
That was my bad.
No,
I
so
feel you.
to your point, to your question, Comply.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really that is looked at that way, or remember, because everybody is taught to get it for yourself.
Right.
Screw the next person, but do what you got to do for you.
Right.
And then now we all done became seasoned adults. I ain't calling nobody old, but
I'm old. I ain't gonna lie to
Hey,
you. I'm
look,
gonna say I'm
hey,
old.
but
Shit.
look.
These
But
grays
now,
right
but
here
now
say
we
a
want
different
to.
story.
But now we're trying to push more of a narrative, and some of us are trying to correct it with our children on how to build together.
Right.
Because come on, for a long time coming up, that's all I heard. Hey, look, get it. Do what's best for you. You gotta take care of yourself. Don't worry about the next man. Don't worry about that brother. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. And then wait a minute, when it comes to relationship, find somebody that's going to work with you. But you really are so flooded with getting it for yourself and not worrying about the next person. I think a little bit of that also feeds into how
Your
we
relationship.
go into relationships, because it's
Yeah.
hard to break down that barrier of taking care of me before I have to worry about anything else, and I'm not really worried about everybody else because I'm looking out for me type deal. And then and I brought this up a while ago. So we're kind of we're really working backwards. We're really doing a lot of repair and to build the village, to take the position in the village that you need to take, because that was the other thing. It takes a village to raise a child, but no one else, when that child got grown, the child left and didn't take the position in the village to raise the next group of children to help input and impart into. So you understand what I'm saying? So everybody becomes fragmented, and so the best way to look at it is, oh, you hating on me, or oh, you don't like me, and screw you because you just trying to go and get it for yourself. But wait a minute, nobody really sat back and think that's what everybody was groomed to do.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what really like for example, I know where I came up. The big push for careers and everything like that was doctors, lawyers, politicians, things of that nature. But trades and some of the most, and these are the things that has the largest shortage throughout the country in the workforce. You can't find enough tradespeople, but everybody that a lot of people that are in the trades and stuff like that are another ethnic group. But is what was taught of being just thinking bigger, or not really, I don't want to say thinking big, but not really considering all the pieces. That's another thing that I say a lot. All the pieces matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See what fits best for you. Like, okay, I'm good with my hands, so I probably, instead of being over here trying to be a counselor or going to school for psychology, I could have opened up a business working with plumbing, electrical, appliance repair, cooking, something like that, and made just as much, if not more, because it's more of a passion. But and we do the same thing too with each other in relationship. I can talk to you and comply. You know what I mean? And we could be doing the same thing, and all of us are kind of saying the same things, and we agreeing. But however, when it comes down to really working with one another, is something that you really have to have a conversation with yourself in your safe space to say, if I'm gonna give Wilkerson a real shot and really try to work with him, but you still coming in looking at me sideways, watch this. If I'm too nice, if I'm too aggressive towards the goal, and you'll ask yourself sometimes, and I've heard brothers do it, I've heard sisters do it. Why are you this way? Why are you being so nice? Why are you really helping like that? What are you really getting out of the deal? All of us gonna get this done together. Type, you understand what I'm saying? So it's that
Yeah.
mindset too. It's that
Yep.
mindset too. And I think that's a greater part what really bothers us and really hinder us in relationships a lot of times, because we rarely implement the understanding of how to work together.
hmm So
That's
when you start doing what I've learned and experienced myself, when you start doing things to help people, especially your own people, I don't know why, but you help your own people, you're willing to help them. And just like you said, they'll ask, why are you being so nice? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Because this is who I am. I don't care what you're used to, going through with other people or whatever, but this is who I am. So I'm that guy or I'm that girl that's trying to bring you up, help you get up there, just like I am. That's just like, for example, I work out. I try to stay in shape as much as possible because I'm getting too damn old. So when I see people that need help, regardless of who they are, regardless of their age or whatever, I go and help them. If I see them doing something incorrectly, I'll go and help them correct it. And I get the thank yous and everything or whatever, and they think I work at the gym, but no, I said I don't work at the gym, but I don't want to see you get hurt doing the wrong thing when somebody could have been here to prevent it or whatever, somebody professional or whatever. But because I know what I'm doing and I have years on it, I'm just showing you, hey, this is how to go about it. If this doesn't work, then you got other avenues you can travel and stuff like that. So it's just the same thing in your work ethics and your life. If
right.
you out there trying to help people, and they see that type of positivity going on, it could be a change. It could be a change for many people, even though it's a whole lot of people that don't accept it because, like you said, they're on that mindset of what are you getting out of it? It's nothing. It's a teachable or it's a lesson. That's what somebody helped me along the way, or information that I got, helped me along my path. So I'm trying to help you get through yours. All it is I
So,
took from somebody else and I'm giving to you. That's it. I'm
so,
just
so two
passing it.
things. So two things about that, because I saw something in the comment. I'm sorry, man. They
Yep.
didn't show me where the comments are now. But two things to that. We got to be patient with those who ask that question, because while we are doing it earnestly, they don't know. Because remember, everybody was groomed, the masses was groomed to look out for yourself, look out for you and
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
That's it. And to
Yep.
take from the village. Like, there's a comment that said, let me go back to it. Uh,
Who was the
okay,
person
but
that posted it?
Okay, but at what point is it okay to venture away from the village? I don't think it's ever really a good point to venture. So once you have grown up and the village has helped you, take your position and pour back into, because that would kind of feed. Okay, well, I got mine, you got to get yours type mentality, and then there's nobody left. And this is why I say that about the village part. To take your position. My aunt my aunt was having a conversation with her girlfriend. My grandmother, her mother passed away, and my aunts and her girlfriends are all grandmothers, and they made a comment and said there are no more praying grandmothers. Well, wait a minute. My aunt said, well, wait a minute, not the way my mom was, and I'm, she goes to church, she believes in God, and the way grandma had groomed her, you are now that praying grandmother. That it's not that you're taking her position, what grandma's role was for the entire family, but for you become that elder, you become a position in the village to teach, so that that cycle continues to go on and on and on. And we just don't do that. A lot of people just don't understand that. A lot of people, and it's because of the way that the information was put out there. That's the only point I was trying to make with that. Like, for us that are going to continue to do that, right? And continue to work with those people, continue to plant those seeds with those people. Hey, look, somebody looked out for me. I'm doing my part, and I'm going to continue to do my part. I'm going to continue to contribute to the community. I'm going to continue to be this positive person, even though it beats me up, even though it weighs on me very heavily at times, because people don't understand. People are still thinking I'm out to get them. People, all these things. But we got to understand and have enough depth and compassion to understand that the the system has taught them to self-implode with being treated a proper way, period. And for us to do anything that feels like togetherness, and I can trust and rely on my brothers right here on this panel. Hey, look, Kapla said reach out to him anytime. Listen, I'm going to hit you up if I need you. I just know I'm coming. Just go ahead and tell me no. You can tell me no this time. It might be something else later on. One of these times you're gonna tell me yes, unless you was just capping the whole time. Then I'm gonna have to
Right.
then I'm gonna have to
That's
deal
a
with you,
different
right?
conversation.
Right,
Right.
it's a whole
Yes, it
different
is.
conversation, because I thought I could rely on you. So if
Right.
you know I
Right.
couldn't rely on, so and watch this, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay that, because I still want to have that conversation. So now, comply, because you wasn't able to look out for me in the way that I thought. This is the conversation. It's not that I got beef. Did I misinterpret what your
Right.
capacity was to look out
Right.
for me,
Right.
or did you bite off more than you can
You
chew,
can
and this
shoot.
is what
Yeah.
you get ready to do?
Mm-hmm.
And then we still good, because now I
Mm-hmm.
know, and I say this too, even in relationship, we meet good people all the time, but then we have to learn how to put good people in the right places of our life.
Yeah.
So a lot of times the experiences that we have with people is what we think about them, what they mean to us. They never signed up for it. They never said that. That's what you interpret them to be. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's kind of one of those things. So it's funny, and I hate that. Well, I don't hate it, but if you look at it this way, when Christ asked the disciples, he said, "Who do you say that I am?"
Right. It don't matter what anybody else got to say. Who
And
do
that
you
goes
think
to the
I am?
community. That goes
Yeah.
to the community and to the people, because then that helps you. That helped me to see how Mike sees me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can have a conversation. Watch this, in my safe space to myself. Can I fulfill that shoe, or do I need to say, "Hey, Mike, nah, you can't rely on me like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my capacity right here, bro."
Yeah.
But because we didn't have some dialogue, and now I can set that tone to get him to let him know, nah, I'm still that good guy that you think that I am, but this is my capacity.
This is
This
my
is my
capacity.
lane.
Right.
This is what I can do. So I'm not sure, but I think I might know a guy, or I might know a lady that can
Mm-hmm.
help you out. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but But to create that safe space with us, and I'm sorry, let me know if I'm talking too much. To
You
create
good? You
that safe
good?
space with us as individuals, right?
You're
But
good,
it
bro.
also opens up for us to have the capacity to have these type of real conversations and say, hey, bruh, hey sis, what am I really expecting from you, or what do you really expect from me, type of deal, and be cool. Some people you gonna have to cut off, but that cutoff game, hey, look, as soon as you do something I don't like, apply. All right, fine then. You the one, your barber better than mine. I'm out. I ain't talking to you no more. You know what I mean? I asked you for a
That's
barber when I came to you. I'm in VA. I came out you know what I mean, to the beach. I said, send me a barber. This guy busted. They tore my beard up. You was jealous because my beard was crisp. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's how real
Right,
beef start.
right,
Over
right, right,
nothing.
right,
Over
right.
nothing. And you like, well, shoot, the cat was on point any other time. I don't know what happened. Wilkerson ain't even speaking to me no more. He talking about going get it. It's a whole different thing. But I just think with this safe space conversation, it's a great conversation. But um, let's take it to that next level, and even in our thought process, because all the pieces really do matter. It's not that are we really against each other, or is it could it be more of that's how everybody was taught, was to get it out the
Yeah.
mud for yourself, because ain't nobody gonna help you, don't nobody give a shit about you.
That was embedded in us, and so what we did is we took that and we isolated a lot of the stuff that we needed to be more vulnerable with. We took that and we hid it. We moved a rock, or we moved whatever in front of it, so you don't see that part of me. You know what I mean? I'd rather you see me angry than to see me frustrated, or for you to see me embarrassed, or for me to be able to tell you that, you know what you did when you did X, Y, and Z, it disappointed me, or or whatever the case may be. Like, I think that part of creating a safe space for yourself is becoming aware of who you are, so you know what you're protecting. Because there's a lot of people that's out here talking about safe spaces or whatever else like that, but you requesting a safe space doesn't mean that you get to do whatever just because you feel like this is your safe space. Like, you can't just talk to someone any type of way, and because you feel like that's your safe space, like, you got to create a safe space for this person to receive whatever it is you're about to give them as well. And so it's a reciprocal energy that has to happen. And unfortunately, a lot of these times, like when I'm in these conversations with people in regards to men's mental health or whatever, I hear a lot of men that are pouring out that they need X, Y, and Z from, their partner, or from whomever else, whatever the case may be. But you're not willing to do the necessary legwork in order to make someone else safe for your safe space. Because, again, with as much as we have going on in our daily walks in life, there's a lot that we pick up, and it's a lot to ask someone else to carry. It's a lot to ask someone else to dump on it. And if it's, just talking about your day, how can you ask someone to be able to hear and listen what you got to say if you're not a person that listens and hears them? So they don't feel safe. So therefore, why would I make you feel safe? So it's for me, I just think that it is a necessary thing to be able to look inwardly and see and be empathetic and see what it is that you require from someone, and apply it. Lead with that. It's not it's not a ish. It's not a hard thing to lead with a calming tone. It's not a hard thing to decide that, you know what, instead of me being extremely rough around the edges with my woman or whatever, I'm you know, I might take my tone. Yeah, I'm a passionate brother, but you know what, maybe, you know, for this, I might need to just dial it down a little bit, because, you know, I want her to be safe to receive what it is that I'm giving, because I don't want her to be on the defensive, or whomever to be on the defensive when I'm giving them this. Because what may be light for us, or what may be heavy for us, might be heavier for the next person. You get what I'm saying? So that's just my thoughts.
So I wanted to say this real quick. Based off of what you were saying, let's I want to try to break it down and try to see what type of safe space are we asking out of a partner. Because like we already talking about what it takes for us to personally do it. We talked about what the background looks like. We talked about what your past look like. We talked about where it possibly comes from. I do have another one. But I say, what are you asking of your partner when it comes to her to be a safe space for you in a particular way? Because, you know, there's personal safety, there's all types of different safety. But for me personally, I would ask for emotional safety, because if I'm going through something, that's one of the biggest targets that a man feel like he cannot do with a woman, is be emotional like that with her, because a lot of these guys don't want to feel like they're less, or they're becoming weak or something like that. And it's like, maybe we're overthinking. A lot of us are overthinking that. I don't think like that at all. This is just not me. I'm just speaking in general. A lot of men think they're going to become weak if they now become vulnerable to their lady, and that's not fair to her, because in a way you didn't give her a chance. But it's also, you got to know exactly who you're talking to and who you're dealing with, because that stuff matters. So are you willing to be an emotional space for somebody? Like, hey, I need you to be my emotional space, my emotional safety space, for me to be able to come to you and be comforted with you, because I might not want to do that with my friends. I might not want to do that with them. So I'm asking you, could you be that? Let them decide if it's yes or no. And don't get mad at the answer neither. Because if they say no, I don't know if I can do it, that's okay. Because you're asking. Some people can't handle certain things, and that's okay. Because like I said, you have to know your person. You have to know who you're dealing with. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Wilkerson. I can hear you.
Now, what was the question? Because I want to make sure I don't derail from.
What type of space are you asking of your partner?
I'm going to try to paint the picture this way. I have a lot of aunts, female cousins. I hear the way they talk. Some of the stuff that they talk about and that they regurgitate from their relationships, I'm just like, bruh. That's why I'm not telling y'all, Jack. I'm not talking to y'all. For me, it would have to be. It's just like, look, some things, a lot of things. We need to clarify what things that I'm talking about that I do not want repeated. Like, I just need to be able to tell you and know that it's not going nowhere. But once I tell you that, like, it's my grandmother. Everybody know she can't hold water. Don't tell her that. It's not gonna happen.
That's pretty much everybody's grandma.
She's telling somebody, but that happens a lot more than what we think. And then when that brother comes back
That's
around,
facts, Rachel.
You hear that again. He like, hey, I thought, oh well, it was just my cousin. Hell no. Oh, it was just my girlfriend. That's my best friend. No. No, listen. This is why I don't, because we don't want to hear that back at all. At all. I don't care if me and your best friend or your cousin and their partner, we homeboys. I don't care nothing about that. I don't need him talking to me about what I talked to you about. I mean, I want him to know.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
I've learned to clarify. Look, I've really, because if it come back, just know my line is, look, I'm if we married, we gonna have to figure out how to deal with it. But if we not, we definitely not getting married. That's for sure. That's for sure. That's a no
So
for me.
So real quick, Mike, I want you to go because the guys did get a chance to answer that, but I
Go
want
ahead,
you to
my
go. I
bad.
want to answer one of Marcus's questions. He said men need to unpack that with themselves and stop putting that work on women. Now that is a thing that does happen, but you will be surprised at how many women want men to come to them in that way. They want them to be more emotional with them, show a little bit of something towards them. It's like I said, it's just if they can handle it or not. Maybe this is the time now where you should think, do I want to take on that shit? Like, if you say you want it, do you really want to take on with that shit? Because you know how 6 of them are. All the ladies in there say they want men to be more emotional. That's all of them. And ain't not one that said, no, you need to do this different. All of them want that, and that's okay. But there are a lot of women who do want somebody to be more emotional. We do know a lot of people do pour that on a woman. Like, you get the guys, oh, why you ain't you need to be my piece. You need to be this. Nigga, be your own piece first. What the fuck? Like, go sit in the corner and meditate like a fucking monk or something so you can come back and ask her that shit differently next time. Like, seriously.
Pretty much understand yourself. Understand yourself before you can go talk to a woman and let her know what's going on with you. But I don't have that problem. I lucked out. You know I did, Mike. I lucked out with my wife. So, I don't have to go through all of that. If I'm going to get emotional about whatever, she's gonna be my rock all the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to do it. And just like I said, to get away from stuff, I play Call of Duty. Guess what? My wife play Call of Duty with me. You know that. She be like, come on, let's get on the game or whatever, because stuff get on her nerves too. And we just go run and kill it. And,
Let me ask you,
I just been that damn lucky.
was she already a gamer when you met her, or did she become a gamer because you were a gamer?
And now she became a gamer because her son was a gamer.
Okay. Okay.
And she started playing with him, and then by that time we had already met and everything, and it it went from there. And I like she's major into Call of Duty now, so it's like
Right.
yeah, we had fun doing it. Like right now, she would rather me be playing Call of Duty than being on here with you.
You know what? I'm not mad at them.
It's funny, but she knew I made an obligation with Mike. And I don't like telling him, all right, I'll be there or whatever, and
Right.
then all of a sudden I don't show up.
Right.
So,
Marcus said I was hitting at the idea that being vulnerable and open is a sign of weakness or not masculine. So that old adage.
yeah, that shit is.
That old adage was something that we grew up under. That I think that we, as the men, that is going to be, that's going to be responsible for the next young men's lives and how they choose to move forward. We need to get rid of that. We need to dispel that rumor, because your masculinity isn't tied into your ability to hold your emotions in. Like, I'm a man through and through, but when my brother passed, I cried. When my son walked across the stage, I cried. You know what I mean? Like, that was, and there wasn't going to be anybody in those moments that was going to tell me something differently, because you will find out just how masculine I actually am. So, like, for this whole bravado thing is just like so ridiculous. It's so caveman like, like we okay, that stuff, and it necessarily didn't even work for our parents and our grandparents, because how many of our parents and grandparents said they never got hugs and stuff like that, and they had to deal with so much other stuff going down the line because they didn't know X, Y, and Z, and they never were shown X, Y, and Z or whatever else like that. And so then they passed that mess on down to us, and now we're having to unpack and having to navigate these waters differently, because we felt like, yo, like, man, I missed out on a whole bunch of things. And I see it as now a generational curse that needs to be broken versus perpetuating the same stuff on over to my kids and my kids passing it on over to their grandkids in a continuous cycle. Like, I think that we ourselves, if we stop feeding these narratives, the narratives will go away. I think a lot of the time, we feed some of these narratives. We get on these social media platforms and we say certain things and we have these discussions about certain things. Like, it wasn't until I got on social media that I started hearing about men requiring women to submit, to be submissive. I was like, yo, where they having these kind of why is a man having a conversation with a woman in regards to a woman being submissive? Like, who does that? Like, I've never heard that before in any other conversation that I've ever been with since I started dating, from a young teenager all the way up to now. So where's these conversations coming from? Well, you know what I mean? But I think that a lot of these guys get on these social media platforms or whatever, and they just say whatever. And it's, controversial, or, it's a hot topic or whatever the case may be. But I'm just like, yo, like, if we stop feeding this energy, our energy to these type of topics or whatever, some of these things, they'll just go away on its own, because after a while, I mean, something else new is going to come up, and it's going to be, the newer topic, the newer hot topic.
I'm sorry. I ate a comply. I should know what I'm feeding myself. I ate a damn pepper. It almost took me out of here.
Yo, I saw you run.
I wasn't ready.
Sorry, y'all. You good, Comply?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm sorry, Wilkerson. I'm sorry. You good, Wilkerson?
Hey, I wasn't ready, boy. I should tell now. I thought I was about to leave up out of here.
You get up out of here, right?
Listen, but no, I tell you something, man, to that topic, and I see where he said he agreed with what you replied. My grandfather. So there was another question. Starred comment. Well, I'm navigating this thing. I'm reading everything now. I grew up in a two-parent household. I was raised by my grandparents. And my grandfather held everything, didn't talk about nothing. I used to think, I remember having this conversation with my ex-wife. You don't never smile when you take pictures with me, like you not happy. Well, my granddaddy didn't smile. That's that guy right here in the background. That's my pops right there. You feel me? I mean, that's a smooth dude. I was like, look, shoot, I'm thinking I'm being cool. I'm thinking I'm being whatever. Two things that I saw this man change. Now I knew my grandfather loved me. Grandma hugged me. It is what it was. That was grandma. I'm the oldest grandchild. So it is what it is, right? This man had a triple bypass that ended, and then I had to watch him bury his youngest son. Now, having my grandmother there to help balance me, if I did not see this man break down, I would have been fearful that he would have had another heart attack or a stroke. Because let's just keep it a buck. That's what happens to us with all that pressure and not talking to somebody. And one other thing that we don't talk about is the suicide rate in our community amongst Black men from the pressure and not feeling like we have a way out and not talking to somebody. And then I say this all the time. I talk a lot, but when I speak is when you should listen. And I talk to keep the pressure off, to keep it at an even kill a lot of times. I'm not going to sit here, and if I feel as though my grandfather told me two things, and this is him passing on. My grandfather, let me tell you a little bit about him real quick. He's from a place called Virgin Liner. Virgin Liner. So that's Virginia and North Carolina, a little town, right? He moved to Baltimore. My father was on the way because my grandparents, I was raised by my father's father, but he still was absent. But anyway, um, moved to Baltimore on an 8th grade education, secured a job in the medical industry, working in pathology, where he retired after 43 years from Hopkins Bayview and did complete his GED in the process. He said, grandson, the best weapon I can pass to you is speak what's on your mind. Is the most powerful man is the one that can speak to the crowd and calm a mob down. And then to be able to use a pen to change somebody's life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't watch this man beat folks up. I don't watch this man slap fire out of people. I mean, this man wore suits. This man wore suits and kept a fingernail file right here and the cleanest manicured nails on a brother that I ever did see. You understand what I'm saying? But he did autopsies every day. So that fingernail file wasn't just a fingernail file if he had to defend himself. I'm just trying to tell you. You understand what I'm saying? But he didn't cry. He didn't show any emotion. He never said, I loved you until my uncle, his baby boy, died. I said I wasn't going to be like that. My grandfather and I had a conversation early I think I was about 13 years old, and I promised him, I said, I will learn what I can from the stories of men and women that I hear about their mistakes and try to correct my decisions from there. I don't have to experience it to do that. And we carry a lot. That's why mental health is what it is. Not just in our community, but amongst the men too. You know, it's a lot of weight. And that's important. The other part of this is, and like help meet. Like I look for my help meet, right? My wife. Help me is the first 2 words in help meet. Listen. We supposed to share this weight with them. You understand what I'm saying? In so many different ways. I can play on the word labor because from the garden, the labor for both of us was more intense. Their labor of bringing life into the world, they actually had to experience pain and all the things that they go through. And we were promised that the work by our hands was going to be even more harder than what it was actually intended for it to be from the time, from the design and from the beginning of man. So we both need to share that load. That's why you really need to be evenly yoked with somebody that understands how we have to go out here and labor for one another.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And with each other, and then independently, but together at the same time. Yeah, that
Shouts out to
still
you,
hot.
Wilkerson. Shouts out to you, brother. It sounds like you miss him every day because it sounds like you know, talking about him definitely chokes you up a little bit. I can tell. So.
Oh, my uncle, yeah, that's my man. That's my man, boy. He's the reason why I carry mail. He was everything I'm doing in the postal service right now is something that he started. So that's why I left my job and applied and got into the postal service. One of the best decisions I did, but you know, yeah, I miss that dude.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mike, Uncle Mike, what's up, man?
Yeah.
You got something for me?
So mine was. I grew up with my grandfather and my mom, and so my grandfather was the father. He was my father figure. He was a deacon at church and all kinds of other stuff. He used to get us in church all the time, and he took care of all of that. He worked hard until he passed. I mean, he worked really hard. And it was messed up that I was over in Germany and I was calling back home. I was always calling back home to, find out what's going on with him and everything because I knew he was getting up there in age. And he never told me he had cancer. He was like, I just haven't been feeling well, whatever. And it like hurt me to the core when I found out about it. But my grandfather, as long as he been around us. He did talk to us and stuff like that, you know, the conversation with us, even though we was kids. But he never told us that he loved us. Never. And that's case in point what you guys are talking about. We're never told by that generation or 2 generations before us that we were loved by them. My mom didn't even say it. My mom never told me she loved me. And she does now, you know, that I'm older and stuff like that. But it was hard for me for a while to even tell her that I loved her because we were going through so much. And it was like, all right, I'm trying to understand, because if you think about it, your mom is your first girlfriend. She's actually your first girlfriend. So whatever you get from your mother, you know, as far as attitude and everything, it's engraved in you from the time you were born to the time you leave home, depending on how she changes and everything. So if you see that and it's not what you like expected, it's not in a loving way, you're going to figure, oh, then other women are going to be the same way. And this is where things get twisted up because of what happens in your household before you enter into your gate of life, to where you want to walk, do things for yourself, get into relationships and stuff like that. And it brings a problem, because it did. I kind of filtered it. I learned how to filter it and try to leave what happens home with me and my mom or my family separated from what happens at school or work or whatever. And I was able to do it. I'm still able to do that. Like, separate the two. I don't know how. And as much as I've been through with my mom, I just don't know how I've been able to just keep a separation between the two things. If like, my wife doesn't get on my nerves, but people that I've had past relationships with, man, I drop them and you like drop them like a hot quarter. Like, as soon as they get on my nerves and it's something that reminds me of my mom or whatever, I'm like, I'm out. I ain't got to put up with this shit. So it's a lot. Like I said, it's a lot having to do with your upbringing and how your parents or the people around you in your family or your friends during that time, how they handled things and how things went on between you and them. And, I used to get my ass whipped all the time, most of the time for no fucking reason at all, just because. But I didn't do that to my kids. And that's where that broke that chain. The same thing with my nephew Mike. Same thing happened. You find your mom is in a situation because she went through a whole bunch of stuff, and we start seeing it as a pattern. Like, all right, that's just like if somebody's parent is abusive, then you're going to go out there and be abusive later on because you think it was all right to be that way, but it's not. So once you learn how to separate that stuff, and if you can move on in life without doing it, you've been the first person to actually break that chain, that cycle that just kept going and going and going. Because to find out later on, my mom and them went through the same thing with their mom and grandmoms and all kinds of other stuff. So we finally broke the cycle. And now, my nephew's got his daughter. He's doing his a different way, and everybody else is doing it a different way. So we learned how to come out of that. And this is a lot. I mean, when you say things weigh on you and you got to take a lot of burden and stuff like that, man, I'm going to tell you, I went through some stuff. I went through some stuff to where I could have committed suicide because I didn't feel like I was loved or whatever, but I was always, you know, put myself in a situation mind wise to where, all right, what is the positive outcome that I can get from this? Where can I turn this around? Or where can I turn that around to where I don't do the same thing or make the same mistakes that I figure my parents are making? So I'll tell my son I love him. And you know, he hear it, and I tell my, you know, my white son I love him. He a grown ass man. And I'll tell him I love him and shit. Because for somebody not to tell you that they love you and they're in your life, when you leave this earth, guess what? If they never told you before then, it's too late. You can't go back and say, all right, they're dead. Oh, I love them or whatever. You should have told them when they was alive. And that's where we, you know, that's generations just really screw stuff up. But you know, I learned how to get past it, and I hope a whole lot of our people get past that point. And if we get past that point and start telling each other, you know, I love you, man, or whatever, I love you, bro, or whatever, and stop trying to be all sissified and stuff. Oh, if I say that, I ain't no man or whatever. Hell no, you tell the motherfuckers you love them and shit. Because tomorrow is never promised. It is definitely never promised. Death is promised. It's going to come. It may not come when you think it's going to come or whatever, but it's going to come. So
listen,
that's why I always tell them.
When I check out, I want Thanos to do it for me. But I'm gonna snap his fingers and I just diss a fucking pair. Like, I'm good with that one. Just turn my ass in the dust. I'm trying to do it while I'm giving him. I'm trying to do it while I'm eating some yams or something, and then I just turn in the dust. Like,
he was just eating a bowl, plate of spaghetti, and just at the last meatball, just dissolved.
I'm trying to be like, yo, Thanos, take me out. Like, I won't be here no more. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it.
But I tell you what, though.
Yo,
I tell you what, though. I think that, I think that a lot of what we're discussing comes down to choices. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like in response to the did I live in a one parent or two parent, and how that affected me. So I lived in a one parent. I came from the adoptive system. My mother and father, I had never met them, don't know them to this day. I lived with me and my three blood sisters, and then my adoptive parent. I got a kind of similar. I got a similar story to Aunt, where constantly being abused. Let's just put it that way. To the point where I found myself one day after school on top of the school building, ready to jump off. And then it was at that particular point, because somehow or another I made it through that. It's the craziest thing. I was standing on the top of the ledge of the school building. Somehow or another, instead of me passing out and falling forward, I passed out and fell backwards. That's the only reason why I'm here to talk to you guys about this story. And one of the teachers that saw me go up there ran all the way up those steps and got me down from off there after I passed out. But my thought process shifted after that, because I was so stubborn that I was like, you know what, I'll never allow myself to get to that point again. And so therefore I started creating my own safe haven, because there wasn't no safe haven. Like wherever I would go, I got to a point of helplessness to where I was on top of a school building ready to go. And so I had to create a safe space for myself. I had to become my own cocoon. So that way, like, the constant, nobody wants you, nobody, like, you have to understand that it was a constant berating of my person, of my character, my being here. The fact that my mother was out there in the streets like that, and this, that, and the third, and that was a consistent use weapon that was used against me. So I had to create my own safe space. So I that's one of the reasons why I'm a person that I feel like you have to create your own safe space first, and that's getting to know you, who you are, what your hurts are, what your weaknesses, what's your strengths, what's this, what's that, what is areas where you do need help, where you do need, because I don't need my person to be a safe space for everything. Like you said, like, what do you need as far as to what does your safe space look like? Is it mentally, is it emotionally, is it physically? You know what I mean? Like, so I get what you were saying, and I agree with you. Like, there's certain components that you have to know that you need a safe space for, and that person has to meet that meet you there. But in doing so, I also need to know who I am, and that I am able to also give the same way I receive. And the fact of the matter is that a lot of us are so looking for that ability to be able to get the safe space, but you're not willing to give the safe space at the same time. So you can't extend your hand and not, you cannot, you can't, give with one hand and not take with the other. Like, you have to be able to hone in her being able to be safe with you, or whomever that may look like, whoever your safe space looks like. You know what I mean? Because not everybody is for everyone. Not every female is going to be a safe space. Not every male is going to be a safe space. It's going to be, certain people that you have to be selective as far as to who am I going to give this to? How much am I going to give them? Are they capable of handling it? You know what I mean? Give them a little taste. Like, I tell somebody something that I know I only told you just to see where to go. You know what I mean? And if you come back to me, I know, now you ain't that person for me. Now I'm good. If you couldn't hold that, man, I got much deeper shit. I got much deeper stuff.
Let me ask you a question with what you just said. If you don't, oh, no mind, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Because I wanted to basically add my side into it, but y'all go ahead, because it's just questions. Go ahead.
When you say, do you mean when you say not everybody could be your safe space? You're not talking about for your, like, one's life partner, are you? Like,
I'm talking about not even just a one's life partner. I'm saying, like, not everybody could be, because of the fact that there's so many people that just, one, they don't have the capacity to handle, say for instance, emotional issues or spiritual issues. Your views on spiritual might be different from mine, so you may not be able to handle my spiritual,
yeah,
my thoughts on spirituality and things of that nature. So, like, I can't give you that. Like, that's not your lane. You know what I mean? That's never going to be your lane.
No, no.
Or X, Y, and Z.
I was asking because I think too, like, with your life partner, like really, like, realistically thinking about this,
Mm-hmm.
that for me, she has to be a safe space.
Mm-hmm.
I have to understand and along with what you said, I got to understand what her capacity is. But
Mm-hmm.
there's a certain level of capacity that she must have, and I will have for her.
as well. But yeah, because some people they operate a relationship and neither one of them are the safe space for each other. I don't even know how that works, but
And see, I'm gonna respond to Marcus for real quick, because Marcus asked a question, and I want to dive into that part of it where he says, "What's the difference between a safe space between a partner and all other relationships?" So your partner, certain things, and I mean, like, we guys, we fellas, so there's certain things that I'm gonna say to the fellas that I ain't gonna say to my woman. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain things that there's a certain vibe that I'm gonna have with Wilt or with Mike that I ain't gonna have with my woman. It's not to say anything about my woman. It's not, disparaging her or whatever else like that. But we the fellas, like, yo, there's certain things that I'm gonna be comfortable talking to you guys about that I'm not gonna be comfortable with her. That's the same thing with anything. Like, not everybody is capable of handling everything. Some people need to seek therapists. That's why, like, your wife ain't supposed to be your therapist if you need therapy. Like, no, go see a therapist about that. You know what I mean? That's a safe space for your emotional vulnerabilities. If it's so much that, it's just overbearing and overwhelming and it's causing issues and things of that nature, that's the person that you're supposed to be having that with, not necessarily your partner or your not necessarily even your friends. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can over expect, and then when people underperform, then you're upset.
That's good.
So I feel like for me to answer this question, and I'll head on to what I was going to say real quick. I don't know if it is a difference between anything, because I should be able to just talk with her freely about everything, even when I talk to my homies about. Because if I'm separating the two, maybe it's something that she's not into that I know I can't talk to her about. Like, if I start talking about Dragon Ball Z, she gonna have her head gonna fly off the rails. Like, oh no, I don't know what you're talking about now. I'm out of here. Like, I ain't talking about no fucking Dragon Ball Z. Like, that's the response I'm gonna get. That's what probably be the difference between the two. Is just what we actually talk about. Like, yeah. So if I want to talk about video game drama and she ain't into that stuff, that'd be the only difference between the two. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not the big stuff, but I'm talking about like cigar smoking. Like, I'm a cigar smoker. If she's not a cigar smoker, then me and Will gonna have a different type of you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what's your cigar of choice, and what you drink with this, or what? You know what I mean?
Like, ask you what you drink with.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of conversation that I'm talking. I'm not talking about.
No. You're right. You're right. I got what you were saying. That's what just me answering his question as far as that. So just so everybody know, the safe space is actually happening right now between us. Like, it doesn't. Yeah, we're talking about the topic, but we're all sitting in a safe space right now. We're all being vulnerable right now. We're all doing the things to try to get each other, not try, but just to get information or give information or have the conversation. So now 4 Black men become comfortable with each other because now we understand each other, and we're sitting here saying, "Hey, we know these things about you now. We know this," and it's like I've told people, I say, "Yo, you can be my worst enemy. Those things die with me that I know about you," because at the end of the day, me and your beef is me and your beef, but what you deal with on an everyday basis by yourself is a whole different situation. I'm not going to put that out there for you to have a destruction, for you to, be destructive now of yourself because I said something that put it in the world, and now everybody else sees what I said, what I did. I'm not going to be that person, so that is never going to, be a thing. But I do think there's a difference in how we talk to our people, of course. But this thing y'all was saying, and I want to kind of allude to mine a little bit. When it came to just our upbringing and stuff like that, my uncle, of course, was there for a lot of my upbringing, even though he was gone in the military. Sometimes he's seen a lot of stuff that went down and what happened. I love my mom to death. I don't even blame her for how she raised him, because this is one of the reasons why I even talk to people about my sympathy for generation before me, because you guys had to deal with some shit. Like y'all really did. It's like I see it. Everybody's lenses is different. Everybody's lenses is different. We can all go in here with the intelligence, with the smarts, with the all that, but experiences trump it all. Because if you see it and you've seen somebody live it, it is a scary fucking thing to see. It is scary to see because it happens to you. I watched my mom not deal with men that didn't want to take care of the kids. So when I got a certain thing said to me, I'm going to be dead honest, and this is me being completely vulnerable with myself right now too. I developed my chronic anxiety because of one thing that my mom said to me. One thing put me in a fucking spiral, and it took me so long to come out of that. It didn't make no sense. One thing she said to me. It was a person that did not take care of me, that I did not like, and she compared me to that man because of a particular situation. He was there. He was there for that. I literally got told, yo, you're going to be just like your fucking father.
I was told the same thing by my mom.
It literally scarred the shit out of me. That sat with me, and it's like it sits with me in the back. And I have done everything in my power to be the complete opposite of what she said.
Yeah.
Complete opposite. I didn't take that and go. Now, have I jumped in the fucking dumps of everything? Hell yeah. I done got to the point where I've curled into balls and just sat there and like cried because I really thought I was a failure. I look at him as a failure, not to be mean, but I look at him as a failure because of what I know of him in his life. Like, dude, you're a failure. Am I mad at you about what you've done? No, because I'd probably be a different person if you was there. So I'm cool with who I am now. And I don't hate him. It's just that I looked at that and said, okay, that's a failure. He failed because he wanted to fail. I don't want to fail. So I did the opposite. I took care of my child. As hard as it got, and sometimes I had to take the sacrifice to get away from her mother, I still, like that little girl will tell you, that girl just a couple of days ago sat in my face and just stared at me. Dad, it costs $40 to go to this place. Sent her $40. I didn't even ask her no questions. You know why? Because I'm the dad that is going to do everything that mines didn't. And I'm going to prove every single day my mom wrong. That's why when me and her go to bat, there's nobody in this world that can tell me anything about my child. Like, we could play, we could do anything like that, but the one thing you can't mess with is my child. That'll be the only time I will hawk out on anybody. I don't care who it is. As much as you think you're going to beat me, I will play beyond dirty when it comes to my kid. I will get people involved when it comes to my kid. Things will happen when it comes to my kid. That's the only person that I say it's all bets off. If something happens to her, I will go to jail. Let's just put it like that. I will. Mm-hmm. It's guaranteed. But that's my vulnerable state. And it had to be like that because I had to become this person. I had to go through the pain that I had to go through. I had to go through those things because I had to understand my mom and why she said that to me.
Right.
She was in a different space. Her mind was, she was watching, all the shit that she'd been through in her life, dealing with 3 different men that didn't take care of their children. And watching her deal with her own personal experience. My Uncle Steve and her got into it all the time. You know, my mom always, she had problems with men, and it probably stemmed from their dad. It definitely did. It stemmed from that because she's the oldest. So her being the oldest, she dealt with a lot of shit. And then all the dumps came down on him because she was the only girl. So when you see it and you're living that stuff, I get where we at, but I'm like, yo, the experiences that I seen these people go through and see where they're at now, and especially when you got them in this generation and trying to do new things and try not to be a part of the cancel culture, as they call it, and all this other stuff. They're fighting to get away from that. Inclusion, equality, accepting people for who they are and what they are, you know what I mean? Like, and dealing with that, you know what I mean? You got to think we're a lot of monogamous based people who don't even like seeing who people still are going after people who are a part of the, community. We're still going after them. People are still going after them. And, just to speak for my cousin, for the handicapped people, for all the people that get dealt with a certain way, that don't have a leg to really stand on with certain things that, like I just had, just talks about a dog, how animals are beaten, but will come back to you and love you because they know unconditional love. Like, this is the shit that we deal with all the time. And this is the shit that, as humans and as everything, we need to, of course, create these spaces, but we need to have a lot more conversations around this stuff. We need to be able to really come to each other and like, Wilkerson, I have your number now. Comply, I have your numbers now. I'll, even if Mike want their numbers, I'll give y'all his number too. And then this is ways everybody can talk to each other and just, yo, how you been today? Like Wilkerson, what we say today, Wilkerson, we talk. Good afternoon. How was your day? It isn't like no soft or trying to be hard and stuff. He literally asked, yo, how's your day? How's this? Man, our day was amazing. It was great. I'm ready for the night. And look where we at right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that. Like I was stoked, ready. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm the type of person. I did this in a live before where I was like, you know, we have to get out of this. We have to get out of this mindset that, you know, me checking on you means that somehow or another I'm less macho, or, you know, I'm this. You know, it takes away from my masculinity or whatever else like that. Like me saying, hey bro, how you doing, man? What's your headspace look like today? Like that takes nothing of my time. You know what I mean? Just to see like, hey, you good? Everything good with you? All right, bro. You know what? Be easy for the rest of your day or whatever. Because who's to say that doesn't, that question, the fact that somebody even cared, you know, if you are in certain environments, you'll probably never hear that.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to take the time out to do it, and if you're in an environment that it doesn't happen, okay, I'm bucking against your norm. Who's to say that doesn't make your day better, or, you know, change a mindset that you may have had in that moment? One of the most rewarding things I ever had happen in my life was I hit up a friend that I hadn't spoken to in a while, just because they came up on my mind. I hit them up and I was like, hey, I'm just checking on you. How you doing? And they told me, not at that moment, but they told me a couple of years later that, yo, do you remember when you first hit me up or whatever to ask me how am I doing? At that very moment, I was going through all this with my girl and stuff like that. I had a handful of pills ready to take them. And your text came across.
God damn.
And it stopped me. And I didn't know anything about that. Dude just came across my mind. We hadn't spoken in a minute. I was like, yo, let me check, you know, because I'm one of those people that even if I don't have a general idea of anything going on, if you come up on my mind, I take my time right then to, hey, you good? Everything good with you? Good afternoon. How you been? You know what I mean? Something like that, because I don't know, something puts you in my spirit. And I believe in the Almighty. I believe that nothing happens by coincidence. So now, because I have, when I've dreamt about people and stuff like that, and then stuff happened to them later on, now I take it upon myself to make sure that, hey, you good? You know what I mean? Like it's hard to explain, but hopefully I'm making it make sense, and that's what I do. You know, so. When he told me that has been my thing. Like, and I'm a person that I believe in bigging up my people. My people mean a lot to me. You know what I mean? My people, I am stubborn about, you know, my passion for my people. So, you know, when I tell Wilt, hey man, you know, hey, you need me, hit me up. I mean that shit. You know, and if I can't do it at, you know, whatever it is that you need for me to do at that moment or whatever else like that, I'll be straight up like, hey, yo, da 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 or whatever. But let's see if we could do X, Y, and Z. I give you an alternative, or some type of resolution to it. You know what I mean? Like that's just the type of dude that I am.
All right. Listen, I love that too, man. Like, you need that shit. You need that shit for real. Wilkerson, you got something for us to play? We got about 5 minutes left, guys. We ain't got that long.
Yeah. No, I just think we need to just. I had something, but Comply was talking real long, and I'm halfway asleep. Look, man, I'm fighting through. I got to work tonight, and I ain't taking no nap. It is what it is.
Oh shit! Sorry.
No. The only thing, no. The only thing I was going to say, man, I think a lot of us have a similar story. But at the end of the day, what I would challenge everybody to do is dive into compassion. If you don't know it, figure out what the definition is. Sit with that for a while and understand it. Because as we go through as planting seeds is an uncomfortable and a very violent process. If anybody knows anything about gardening and anything like that, you have to break break through the ground to put a seed in the ground, and that is a violent process. So even as we are trying to do good and we feel as though people should just accept it and want it and understand it, it's a seed that's being planted at the same time to somebody who's never experienced it or don't understand it. It is what it is. Don't take it personal, but have compassion from their perspective of what their environment looks like. Before, because just like you, somebody planted that seed with you, and now the increase of that seed is you doing or us doing what we're doing in the community every day.
Yeah.
And coming together on platforms like this. So, with that being said, when we understand that and do what God is placing us to do, to produce in the earth, then we'll be effectively, infectiously, continuously contagious to everybody that we come in contact with.
Yes, sir.
All right, so look, before we get ready to go, I gotta make sure that gotta share this one little thing. Of course, over here if you got something to say, but shouts out to Wilkerson. He was trying his best. That man was looking like this, hanging out with us just now. That man was falling asleep. That man was over here. He was over here checking right now. And was surviving, listen, Wilkinson is a survivor. That's what matters the most.
For sure.
Well, no, I appreciate you sitting through and hanging out with us, man. I know I disturbed your sleep, but this was a real honor to have you on.
I would do it again.
And shouts out to Six, and for linking us at one point, everybody being in the same lives. We always been having fun in there. Like that's the part when we go on Six's live. And I tell everybody this just for people's purposes. Can anybody in here tell what Six is like in her goddamn lives? It don't matter what you say. Six and Comply argue 24/7, but they love each other. That's what love is. You have friends that's like that. Like
every time I go in there, he in there.
Eating them all the hall, Mom. I want some damn chicken. But no, it's a dope time over there. Yeah, right. So Six is one of the dopest people. If you go in there, just get prepared that it don't matter. She'll come in there and love you and love on you and stuff like that. It didn't legitimately say I'm about to love on you. Like that's just how she is. That's how she is. She is a walking ball of fun. Like that's what
she's like that in person. I've gotten to meet her and the family. And my name is Kevin when I go to Six's family functions for anything. She's like that in person. She's like that in person as well. A real genuine person. Funny, hilarious, beautiful inside and out.
Yep. Right. Oh, yeah. You want to finish it off, man? You got like 2 minutes.
I don't have anything really to say.
I'm about to start posting the pictures and the videos.
It's pretty much, like they were saying, it's things we got to work on. It's things we got to commit to. We just got to, that commitment is, because everybody can say, what needs to be done and this and that. It's the commitment that has to happen. And once everybody is committed, that's basically it. That's basically it. He like you said, Wilkerson said, you plant the seed, but at the same time, what makes it a fight, you always going to have weeds trying to pop up and snatch out all the nutrients and everything. And you got to keep that out of there for things to grow like they're supposed to grow. And, we always gonna have weeds, so might as well go on ahead and get the spray or whatever you gotta do to, keep stuff going and generating, man.
Yeah, get that shit. Gotta get that shit. All right. So look, the TBC podcast is a work in progress right now. We definitely about to get some fun stuff going. We got to get back on the big screen because I'm ready to laugh and ready to be goofy. And this is one of the goofiest people. He's being censored down right now. This is like a watered down version of him where he has to be like this. But the other side of him, oh my gosh, all my jokes, a lot of this shit come from him. The way I'm goofy like this, he allowed me to be goofy at a very young age. He did not. He was like, yo, I'm going to learn all the stuff anyway. So go ahead, have fun. Just don't be disrespectful. It's like, all right, cool. We went loose. I mean, like, we start busting on each other, all that shit. It just got bad at that point. So,
and the same thing with me growing up with my uncles. They used to do that. My uncles and aunts used to do the same thing. So that was one good thing we passed along or whatever.
Right.
Laughter is good.
So
I'm coming. Next time I come back on here, I'm coming back with his outfit.
Hey man, the glasses so you could be asleep like this.
You know what I'm saying?
You see his face on the microphone like this and shit.
Yo, you could get some eyeballs tattooed on your eyelids. So you can sit there with your eyes closed and make them look like they're still open.
I'm gonna get the glasses. That's the glasses I'm gonna have on with the eyes.
Thank you, Mama, for joining us. Right, they over here busting and showed up. So I got some pictures. I want to show everybody this because everybody know this is true. I always end my shows the same exact way. It's just what I choose to do now. I'm not going to stay on it for a long time, just for a short time. But you make sure every man knows this. I don't need to tell these men that. We are obviously everybody is professionals, but for you youngins, thinking that dick is the only thing that matters, is not the only thing that matters. You see this motherfucker right here? If you look at the top right there. Look where the thing's sticking out at. That thing that's sticking out right there, that's where you need to be at. Her face needs to look like that while you doing that. That's how it should be. And you need to be all that stuff around there. That's cool. You can look all around there, but you need to be right there at that top part. Spend time with that. Get to know that, and you're going to be good. And if her legs ain't on 1 o'clock or at 11 o'clock or even both of them together, nigga, what is you doing? What is you doing? What are we playing about? It needs to be on one of these.
This ain't no crunchy much content.
Ball her ass up. Her arms need to be at 11 o'clock and her legs need to be at 11 o'clock. If you nasty, put it at 12 o'clock. It don't
12
matter.
o'clock. You know what I'm
saying? Pick a clock, motherfucker, and find what we're doing. Don't be weird and trying to have her at 6 o'clock. I don't know how that works at that point. It's starting to get a little weird at that point. So just spread that thing and flip her on, Yeah, I know the comics are gonna do a little something. I'm wearing shades next. You better not show no fucking shades.
No, I'm coming back with my shades. Watch.
Y'all, I swear, if y'all walk through that door with shades, I'm in that show quick.
Mine is gonna be worse though.
If I know Unc was gonna do that, man, look, don't worry about it. I got you.
Well, that's because somebody farted in his face. That's why he was.
Oh man!
You
ain't got the pig eye.
Hide the peacock.
Who ain't got the pig eye? Talk about he needs a Ben Stein clear eye.
I had to take it love. And I got something for you, basically, before we.
Now I'm going through allergies right now. It's weather. It's just
that's what we call it. Okay.
That's what we call it now.
Allergies ain't nothing.
That skunk spray.
Hey, look, the attire is a Scully, all black, and sunglasses, gentlemen. Next time we back on here.
Yes, sir. That's the uniform.
That is the uniform. Round V-neck security.
We're gonna do it live. I just wanted to shout out everybody for coming through. Everybody, no, listen. Tell them where they can follow y'all at. That's one thing. Oh, he on stuff, but he not on stuff. Follow him on Call of Duty. Check fucking Rock on Call of Duty. That's how we do it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to get Call of Duty. I'm gonna have to get on the game. So what game system y'all on, right quick?
X-Trash.
I'm on. He said X-Trash.
X-Trash. Now I'm gonna get PlayStation.
You still can play Call of Duty on there. It's cross-platform, so it don't matter.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm on all the platforms.
I'm surprised they did it with basketball, to tell you the truth.
They should have.
That's very surprising. And Madden. But go Wilkerson, where they can follow.
They should have. I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Snap, everything. Facebook. No, I'm sorry. Instagram is Dre the Bishop, and then Dre is THA Bishop, and then Wilkerson Shenanigans on TikTok, and Andre E. Wilkerson on our Facebook.
I'm not on Facebook, but I'm on TikTok. Just comply. On Instagram, I'm on just_comply_. And on Snap, I'm on as KYS Dad.
You better clean that up quick.
Yeah. I know.
I ain't gonna lie.
I thought you were gonna say KY something else.
I was on your heels.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. That's why I had to clear my throat.
He'd be like, it's Mr. Nasty time.
Comply after dark.
Just comply with me.
Yeah.
But no, shout out to y'all once again. Thank y'all for joining. I know the people are still I didn't say anything basic. I didn't say nothing, man. But I am gonna post this video for basic just because listen, I do this thing. I've been trying to get her to scissor with me. We can't do scissoring, guys. That'd be weird. But yeah, y'all see it. Don't judge me. Yeah. She don't want to scissor with me, yo. I was trying to get her to scissor with me she did it one time and then I pissed her off. So I was like, all right, I'm sorry. She's not trying to do the scissoring thing. So I don't know what the beef behind it, but it's beef. See, never happening. That's crazy. My dreams ain't never gonna come true on this show. I'm gonna catch your ass slipping one day. Catch her slipping. But all right, y'all. It was good. It was real. I will hit y'all up later. Make sure y'all following us. Follow before y'all fully get off here. Make sure y'all following, liking, follow these guys on all their platform, and we'll see y'all next time. Me and Basic will come up with our topics. Don't know when. It'll probably be like Saturday night, pushing it and shit. We definitely be pushing it. Like the confused doesn't look right.
Yeah. That's the only one way. That's how we should live life, right on the edge. I'm going skydiving this year. So
right there.
That's how we should do it.
But all right, guys.